He has to learn and conduct the works. So in the most of the cases in the software company, they are facing because people are recruiting, they are joining, they are learning, and after finding day, after 2 years, 3 years, they shift to the other company or going to the abroad. So that way it is huge loss because the manpower is going at the same time, the knowledge is also going back. So how to cope up these situations? How to manage, how to tackle all these things? That's why the knowledge management has come. This wealth of the organization knowledge, generally referred to as a knowledge assets, knowledge capital, intellectual capitals, etc. It disappears when these persons leave the organizations. Now, according to Peter F. Drucker's, in the new realities, knowledge is information that changes the something or somebody, either by becoming the grounds for the actions or by making an individual capable of different or more effective actions. Knowledge is viewed as a collection of facts, ideas, learnings, and politics, and policies, practices, and a lot more. The knowledge can also be defined more narrowly as agreed upon, explicit, or formal facts, rules, policies, and procedures. These all are part of the knowledge. Skills are seen as the information processing competencies that can generate the explicit knowledge. What are the knowledge? You can see as an exhibit or as a explicit, and it can be as a information. Skills are learned by the doing because skills cannot be not one fine day can be possible. You have to practice it. You have to do it. You are in the jobs only, then skill will be developed. This knowledge is learned by studying or investing. So that some difference is there. Learn knowledge and the skill. So when you are, I'm in the study mode, that means I'm gaining the knowledge. I'm learning some of the, I read the things. Skill is doing. You are implementing the whatever the knowledge you have, now you have to do it. You have to fulfill the fulfill the target of the your objectives. So knowledge can be classified as tacit knowledge, that is personal, that is a knowledge that cannot be expressed as communicated. So, and explicit knowledge that can be codified and expressed in a human or formal languages. Now, knowledge coming to see the what is the management. The knowledge management is a management technique to effectively manage knowledge organizations. It comprises of constructions, where it is compilations, collections, correlations of the knowledge generated within the organizations and from external sources into a knowledge repository. In a knowledge repository, means in the short, is a KR, where there is a construction of the knowledge. So that is a part of the management. Now organizations organize the knowledge so constructed in the organization in such a way that it is easily accessible to all those in the organizations who need it on time. So that means what are the knowledge are there. That should be the flow, maybe through the land or some things through these computerizations. Whenever you require some of the things, you can access the things. So accessibility should be there to do the work or perform the work within the organizations. So that's why you have to gather the knowledge, stored the knowledge, constructed the knowledge in a different frameworks and flow it. That should be available somewhere. So and that can be accessible by the everybody. So that is the basically idea of the knowledge management. Apart from that, the management system that maintain the care up to date and relevant. So time to time, whatever the data management data stored, that may be modified depending on the different situation arised and how it has happened. So that post effect data also to be updated. So management system that maintains the KR up to date and the relevant also. A set of tools, including the computer systems, that facilitates easy of the assessing the KR as well as building and maintaining it. So we should have some arrangement, some tools should be there, some mechanism should be there. Definitely there should be some software and hardware. Obviously, when we are talking about the computer systems, definitely there should be some software and hardware also, and some systems should be there, applications also should be there. Now, two sources of knowledge. One is internal sources, that is emerging from the operations of the organization itself. So internal sources include the organizational operations such as design, development, engineering, sales, marketing, manufacturing, customer contact, etc. All these things are there. So that internal sources are one of the part. Second thing, that is external sources, such as industry, professional associations, commercial websites. There are many professional bodies such as IEEE, academic bodies such as universities, research institutions, industry associations such as RIMA, and your commercial organization. They have enough external data is there, which is relevant part, so that we can align with the, when you are preparing something, you can take the internal sources and as well as you can refer to the some of the external sources also. Based on this, you can do some research, or you can make some applications, or you design the things. What were the things you can do it? Development purposes, engineering purposes, so data is required. For example, as a marketing manager, whatever the existing resources are there, based on these, you can see the other companies' data also. You can compare so that you can have make some competitive advantage, some mechanisms, so that you can prepare some of the things and develop the things. So that is managing all the knowledge related resources by internally and externally. Knowledge creation. Now, knowledge creation means knowledge creations, whether for imitations or innovations. You can copy it, you can, as it is, you can copy it, or otherwise you can make some difference to your innovations. They take place at two levels, individual and organizations. So knowledge creations, individual and definitely by the organization. So both the way, there are two levels. The prime actors in the process of knowledge creation are individuals within the organizations, because individual, he has to think about it, they do it, then he can discuss with the subordinate or discuss with the seniors, make a team, thorough thought process can be developed. So individuals can do it. Finally, it will be fine tuning can be done by the management or something. So organizations are. So individuals within the organizations can create the knowledge base. So it can also be said that knowledge creation is a function of an organization's absorptive capacity, which requires a learning capability and develops the problem-solving skills based on the capacity of the existing knowledge. So, so capacity will be improved. Definitely you have to see your existing knowledge. What are the your add-on the things, and that should be updated. Knowledge should be there, globally accepted. Now, talking about the framework. So framework is also important because without framework, you cannot justify the things sometimes. So the integrations of the knowledge management. So knowledge is routine operations in very much imperative for progressive organizations. So without knowledge management, you cannot go further because if you are competitions in the market, so you have to progressives every time you are in a product, new product you are launching or something. Full-fledged R&D research and development team is there. So definitely, it is very imperative to for knowledge. So each industry has its own KM systems. So every industry has their own KM. It evolved to suit his needs. Based on these needs, he should have some knowledge management systems. How much should be inside can be added or from externally, from where you can add the knowledge. So everything are within the boundary, within the systems that should be, so that provisions and facilities should be there. So with the use of which the organizations are rewarded with falling cost of hardware and ability to appreciate software tools to capture and manage corporate knowledge, which have moved from paper to soft copy form, and onto the web, thereby available to all. So initially, you have to prepare. Then you have to capture all these things. What are the knowledge in form of software tools through this by the things, and then finally you make it in a soft copy and put it in the web. Now the process has, there are 5 stages. There are 5 names are there. Creation of strategy for knowledge management systems, technical infrastructure and your knowledge resources, grouping of knowledge, delivery of knowledge, corporate and individual performance. So corporate and individual performance. So these all are 5 different stages are there when you are go for the framework. Basically, to do the framework, some process is this: creation, technical infrastructure, grouping, delivery, and corporate individual performances. A project. The knowledge management project must have the following 4 components. So now we are talking about the components. What are the components? Create knowledge repository to improve the knowledge assets. Create knowledge environment and manage knowledge as an asset. So this is the project for your knowledge management framework purposes. What are the benefits? So benefits of the knowledge management. Here actually I am just putting a 11.6, 11.5. Have you even noticed that a unit number? And so if questions come from the any in the exam or sometimes, or anybody can ask what are the benefits of the, so then you have to highlight this all these points and you can elaborate it more with the example. That is better. So now benefits: an effective knowledge management program It helps and enhances the competitiveness of the organization through first thing fostering your innovation by encouraging free flow of the ideas that will basically accelerating the things very fast, improving the customer service by streamlining the response time. Then a creative approach of knowledge management can result in improved efficiency, higher productivity, and increased revenues in practically and your business functions. Apart from that, boosting the revenues by getting the products and services to market faster, then enhancing the employees' retention rates by recognizing the value of employees' knowledge and rewarding them for it, because that is very much needed. Otherwise, people can leave the organizations when they feel there is no improvement, or maybe to do the work, they are facing a lot of problems, not getting the guidance from the seniors or something. So, if you have a very good knowledge management systems, then you know to ask the seniors, or you cannot go to the managers all the times. That is another way you can benefit is you can save the time of your seniors for the discussion matters to knowledge because it is everything there. You can understand very easy because everything are in the process and written very carefully by step, all the stages. So contain of the in the knowledge management systems that is very should be very friendly so that any employee can join and easily can assess the things and understand the things. So without any guidance, he can do the work within a very short period. He can take the responsibility very fast. So that is the major benefits or advantage of the knowledge management. So minimum guidance, maximum output, you can get it through these your management systems. And by the time the manager and seniors, those who are there, they have enough time for innovation purposes or some they can do for some proactive works or some constructive work they can do it. Rather than wasting the time for the discussions, for the knowledge giving purposes. So that is can be available from the your knowledge management systems. In the portal itself, it is available. You can fetch the data from the systems and they can learn the things. Then streamlining the operations and reducing the cost. This is one of the very important part. Cost and time also. Actually, it should be reducing the cost and time by eliminating the redundant or unnecessary process. Sometimes maybe there are 2-3 processes. Some people are familiar with some process. Some of the other persons are familiar with the other process. So there should be some of the conflict or maybe wastage of time. Or in time is also in terms of the cost. Because human assets are very sensitive because their timing is also important. So that is also one of the very important. It can be streamlining the operations and reducing the cost also if we have a best knowledge management systems. A creative approach to knowledge management can result in improved efficiency, higher productivity, and increase the revenues in practically and business functions. Any business functions. So it can be increased revenues also. Now, some of the pioneers in the knowledge management so far worldwide, what are the pioneers knowledge management systems? One is the Anderson's Consulting. They have a good knowledge management systems. USA insurance firm, then your GE, General Electrics, then your Rich Cartons, Agro Corporations USA, DOW Dow Chemical USA, Boeing 777 USA. They have a very good, well knowledge management systems. Beckman Labs USA, then McKinsey and Bain and Company. So these are there are many others in the field now in India also. All the leading software development organizations have some kind of OKR, respiratory knowledge respiratory. So these are the pioneers of the knowledge management systems. Now, what are the initiatives in Indian organizations? So let's see the initiatives. Knowledge management initiatives at Infosys, as we know, Infosys, the Narayan Murthy, he has developed a very unique knowledge systems, knowledge management systems. So that is one of the greatest initiatives. Then knowledge shop, process assets database, people knowledge map, then your knowledge enhancement. These all are the initiatives by Indian organizations. Then participating, partnering with the pioneers in teaching. As we know, the teaching field, there are a lot of things are available, or it is already programmed, already everything are in the process. Physics, chemistry, science, biology, everything are in the teaching field. Through the partner, you can have a joint venture, you can do it. So that knowledge you can hire also, basically. So knowledge management initiatives at brand. So there are so many list of initiatives in Indian organizations. Apart from that, also growing. Also, all these things are growing. Then your software of the knowledge management. There are some of the given to very few have given. There is some lot of other software is available for the knowledge management. One is your retrieval-aware by the Convera, that is www.convera.com. There through this way also you can see this is one of the software. Then right now technologies, www.rightnow.com. This is one of the another software. The IBM, Lotus Knowledge Dictionary Products. So IBM also very advanced, and everything they have done very. Now IBM are researching on AI also and other lot of things, machine learnings, there are everything. So also all these tools will help for keeping your knowledge management basically. These all are helping tools. In such, I am talking about the software basically. Now see some of the diagrams here. That is a data warehouse, discussion database, and there from you have some communication layer where the managing, then groupware, internet everything are connected. Then intelligence logical layer, they have to see the logically think over it. Basically all these algorithms based on this, they can assess the data. Who will be that layer? That is your agents, filters, data mining, workflow. That is a layer. There is another layer where the intelligence and the logical layer we are calling about. And then finally it is a user interface layers where exactly the all this data and the discussion, whatever the things that are used by your users. That is the end users, you can say. That is the user interface layers. So here actually some of the uh, flow chart as such, that is the technology architectures, what the way the technology cons- uh, in regards to your knowledge management. So main thing, there are two things. One of the your data warehouse and your discussion warehouse database. So these things are there are first the communication layers, intelligence layers, or your interface. There are three layers the things are. Now, what are the trends going on? Now, trends and challenges in knowledge management. The challenges in effective implementations of knowledge management in the organization start with acquiring new forms of information, new tools to store and manipulate the informations. That is the main thing. You have to first store it, then after that you have to manipulate the whatever the information you have to manipulate. Now it has been observed that knowledge management has been progressing from groupware and data warehousing to business intelligence through uses of sophisticated software tools. As we have seen the previous slides where the diagram is there. So these things are you can utilize for the uh, for progressing, basically for the progress of things. Now it also provides the organizations with significant benefits by assisting them to improve the quality of the service, delivery, avoid disasters, and reduce the cost through early recognition patterns. So, what are the patterns? So, that patterns you can predict, and based on these, you can take some corrective measures so that you can avoid the disasters or you can reduce the cost also. So, that is the main important things. That is the basically significant benefits. Another most important fact is that not all information is knowledge. So companies diligently need to be on the lookout for information explosions and overload. Here the quality is the key and the quantity. So in the last point you see there are another thing is quality is also one of the you have to ensure all the data are quality wise good and effective. So this is the way I'm now trying to complete your unit number 11, that is your knowledge management. Now it is completed now. Here I can give you some of the practical experiences which I had actually. I was working in power grid corporations and there I was in substation also and in the control center also. As you know, there are some SCADA systems, SCADA supervisory control and data acquisitions systems. So there, basically, whatever in the substation there are, the data is to be stored because in substation there are lot of equipments are there, technical isolators, circuit breaker, transformers, then your reactors. There are so many equipment, electrical equipments are there. Now, what is their behaving? There are operation systems that has to be captured so that from the remotely we can control the things. So that things are managed. Basically the data are managing by the control centers. First things, all the data has to be fetched. That is in the substation levels. That is through these your RTU, remote terminal units are there. So that unit, just like a computer, all this data are stored there from these all the connection point, all the signals basically digitally just collected. And then from there it is transmit through these communications, transferred to the area local centers because maybe the control center is in a 4 or 5 districts are there and one regions or you can see the one of the state now. suppose, for example, one state, they have a state control centers, and they have another two, three area or sub control centers are there. So that at a time, first data, all the data are coming in the local sub LDCs, we can say, local control centers, and then from there it will reach to the main state control centers. So there all these data are available, and then different operators are there. Some of the operators for these forecasting purposes, some of the operators are doing for management purposes. So different operators, different consoles are there, different computers, there, different purposes are there. And now they are, but data is common, but now they are doing this data based on their operations. They are doing. So some of the application purposes are there, future purposes, upgradations, everything can be available. So this is the way everything are managing in the control centers. So that is also your knowledge management part is there, because earlier the data was not there. So because of that, you cannot see the pattern of the electricity patterns and where the fault is there, where the problem is there, you cannot. Now it is available because if the transformer is there and it is overhauling time is there, the expiry date, everything, insurance is already having or not. So then all these database are available there. You can see it accordingly, you take the decision. So decision-making process are very fast and accuracy. And that is the way we can avoid a lot of disasters, lot of load sheddings. We can avoid it through these machine systems. And definitely they reduce the cost also. Fault finding is easy. You can protections purposes also it is useful. You can protect the systems very well. Even in the organizations also you see where you have a good knowledge management systems. So definitely when you are aware of all these things, you can manipulate the data and you can, whatever the knowledge, you can achieve very fast and you can do it where it is required. So now I can now proceed to next unit. That is your strategic enablers in the block 4, that is the last unit number 12, is innovations. So as we say, again you have to see the introductions, then concept of the innovations, factors influencing the creativity, then your initiative, innovation organizations, individual and innovation culture, forecasting, fostering the creativity, the techniques for enhancing the creativity, building creative organizations, company programs to enhance the creativity. All these things part are in the unit number 12. Let's see one by one. First things, try to understand what are the innovations. So it is an effective reaction to these demands leads not only to changes in individuals and their behavior, but also to innovations, changes in organizations to ensure their existence. It is written by Red 1996. He says that it is the change, whatever the changes based on the your organizations required, you have to ensure and you have to fulfill your existence are there or not. So you require some of the innovation. So innovation sometimes is what are the changes, and that changes should be progressive. That changes should be positive. That changes should be fruitful. Then we can have we can say it is a innovation. The challenge for the companies is to be innovative and creative to bring to the market a stream of new and improved added value products and services that enable the business to achieve higher margins and thus profits to reinvest in the business. It means it is a quite challenging job. Every time you have to see, you have to survive in the market. Your product should be good quality-wise. that should be very friendly, or customer attractions should be there. So all the time you have to decide how I can improve the things, products, how to change my things, how to modify the things so that it will be more attractive, and I can get the market share more, and the profit margins can be increased. So that is the way, and how to reinvest in the business. So all these things are part of the innovations. Here you have to the thoughts provoking the things are there. The employee should be provoked very much to do something new, and that changes will be helpful for the product purposes. So innovation can be defined as the successful exploitation of the new ideas. Means what about the new idea? You have to exploiting the new ideas, and you have to accept and take the best one and do it. So innovation is just like a process. Basically, it is a process through where you are reaching some of the good things which are for the good for the company, good for the product, and good for the social also. Now see the concept. The concept of the creativity and innovations are often used interchangeably, because creativity and innovation sometimes seems to be the same in the literature. Consequently, it is important to analyze this concept in the content of the research. Now, creativity as a context, specific evaluations can vary from one group, one organizations, and one culture to another, and it can also change over a time. Evaluating creativity should therefore be considered at the level of a person's organizations, industry, profession, etc. It is written by the Ford, 1995. Yes, say it. So the definition of the creativity. Now, innovation. Innovation is often associated with change. Now you see the differences. Earlier one, earlier one, sorry, earlier one, the creativity contains the specific evaluations. But here actually you have seen the change, associated with the change. So innovation is regarded as something new which leads to change. However, change cannot always be regarded as innovation, since it does not always involve new ideas. Sometimes you are changing something, it doesn't mean it's innovative. Just change for the situation. The situation based you have changed some of the things. But it is not an innovation. Innovations, you can say, which involve the ideas, it does not always lead to the improvement in the organization. This is actually the study by the CIMA, CIA CIMA, a study text there in 1996. It is there, and West and Far, that is 1990 also. There they have surveyed and they have concluded these theories. Now, culture is another part for the creation of a innovation. The culture is a primary determinant of the innovations. When you are talking about the innovation, definitely first things you have to make some culture, good culture, some ecosystems should be prepared to do for the innovation purposes. So culture is a primary determinant of the innovation. Processions of the positive culture characteristics provide the organizations with the necessary ingredients to innovate. Culture has multiple elements that can serve to enhance or innovate in the tendency to innovate. Now, virtually all the companies talk about the innovations, and many may actually attempt to do it, but only a few actually succeed in doing it. The reality is that innovation, for the most part, threatens finance organizations, because it is inevitably linked to risks, because always it is a some of the fight is going to know so much risk is there, and because you cannot see what will be the after 2 years, what will be the happen. So that's why sometimes it is a conflict is going on, and the organizations are reluctant sometimes. So that's why everybody are not achieve the innovation. So sometimes we attempt to do it, everybody, but only few actually succeed. To be creative, an organization is requires. So that's why you have to have a always the creative mentality should be, and the innovation strategy. So first things you have to take some strategy how to make innovation atmosphere. So it's promoting the development and the implementation of a new products and the services. It must also ensure that the vision and the mission focus on the customer and are market oriented, focusing on solving the customer's problems apart from managing other things. Means when you are making some strategy for the innovation purposes, so some of the point you have to keep in mind. Main thing, your vision mission should be customer oriented. I mean, these things are beneficial for the customers. So to keep in this mind, because the revenue or money will be coming from the customer only, and that should be market oriented. So that, and what are the problems facing by these customers for the existing systems? That should not be. They should overcome the things. So you have to keep in mind how best I can give a product so that the customer will be happy. They will not face any problems. So that things are triggered to your, then only you can go forward some of the for innovation purposes. That's some of the strategy you have to maintain. Then structure is another aspect. It supports the creativity and the innovation because you should have some structures, value system like flexibility, freedom should be there, cooperative teamwork is required so as to promote the creativity and innovation. That type of atmosphere, environment you have to create it. So that structure is required. So without the structures, you cannot do the things because it is a joint effort. Support mechanisms. So it should be present in our organizations to create an environment, as I said, that will promote the creativity and innovations. The various mechanisms may include, that is, rewards and the recognitions and the availability of resources like time, information, technology, and creative people. So all are part of your support mechanisms. Because if you give some reward systems, or you make a salary can you hide some of the things, pay package can be changes. So then people can start motivating and they can go for the values and the norms that encourage the innovation manifest in specific behavioral forms that promote or innovate creativity and innovations. So this can be done by taking risks and experimenting. So values and norms are very much important. You should have some norms and the values also. Then communications. This is also very important because the communications lot of problem can be solved because during the creativity and the innovation, that is communication is influencing very much understanding the things. You may be rigorously have to move for the pursue the meeting and discussion. That only some picturized, it will be very picturized and slowly can be convincing. You will be convincing the things. So your organizational culture that supports one and transparent communications based on trust will have a positive influence on promoting the creativity and innovations. That is Barrett say 1997. He says, then Robbins also 1996. Teaching personal that disagreement is acceptable since it is offers the opportunity to expose the paradoxes, because sometimes the debate is required, disagreement will be there. Ultimately, you will get some opportunity, best ideas can be uh, required. Conflicts and dilemmas can promote the openness in the communication. So during the communication process, you have to allow all the things. You have to appreciate, you have to welcome all these things. Then whatever the conflict will be there, it may be this opportunity for that. Maybe some idea can be developed. So this is that's why the communication is a very is one of the major factors for influencing the creativity and innovations. Leaderships. So leaders each the organizations consistently innovate and do so with the courage. So it is the task of a organizational leaders uh, to provide the culture and climate. Create, yes, the leader can be comment the thing, all these things. He is the pivotal point. Leader is a pivotal point surrounding everything, or he can accelerate, he can propagate the things. You have to advocate the things to his subordinates, and you have to make some culture and climate and like this, and nurtures also, and acknowledges the innovation at every level. You have to acknowledge all the things in the level. So there are innovation cannot be done in one day. It's a process, as I said. So leadership is one of the influencing factors. Now influencing creativity and the innovation, they are the key attributes of the organizations that reward innovations uh, include. What are the attributes? Ideas and values. So what are the ideas? Value should be there. These all are the ingredients or the attributes are there. Then attention and support of the top management. That is also one of the very biggest things. Most of the cases, top management may be the due to lack of time, lack of things. They are sometimes they are not giving a priority for these things. Maybe willingly or unwillingly, they are not able to give a more attention to particular these things. But that is a very wrong thing. So top management also to be give attention and support for this for the innovations, because otherwise this is impossible. So motivate the thing. When the top management are involved, and at least fortnightly or in a month, they can review the thing. At least they can review, or they can go through this at least. Then it will boost up. So that support is required, mentally, physically, and financially. Everything is required. Respect for new ideas. What are the new ideas that are coming? You have to give it some respect. Celebration of the accomplishment. But suppose you are some of the things are achieved, or even in some of the layer. So layer also you have achieved. Then you have to celebrate it. You have to give a thanks. You give it some awards, some appreciations, so that it can carry further. Implementation of the suggestions, and if the suggestions are coming all the good suggestions after the evaluations, yes, find out that all the suggestions are very good. All the whatever the alternatives that should be implemented. So without implementation, you cannot get the results. So that is the main things. Encouragement. Encouragement is very required. If some of the stages are delayed or some of the stages are may not be at par, still top management or seniors should be encouraged. Okay, no problem, you can do it. Whatever the money is required, definitely no problem. You take another 1 week or don't leave it, you go further. So that type of encouragement is required. These all are the influencing factors for the creativity and the innovations. Now, then some of the characteristics. One is the balance of autonomy. Autonomy is defined as the having a control over the means as well as the aims of the one's work. This concept appears to be one of the central importance. So there are two types of autonomy. One is your strategic autonomy, the freedom to set one's own agenda. You have to give it some, yes, no problem, take it and you do it. Operational autonomy, the freedom to attack a problem once it has been set by the organizations in ways that that are determined by the individual selves. Because yes, I have to do it. It is assigned by the things. So operational autonomy was also required. That there should not be any double-minded. Straightway you have to start and have to do it. Personalized. And this means, yes, it is my own. You have to own the things. Recognitions and rewarding individuals for their contribution to the organizations is widely used by corporations. So personalization is one of the important. When you fail, yes, I'm also a part of this program. I'm also a part of these innovative teams. Or my contributions are valued. My contributions are recognized. So that part things have to be personalized. The things to feel some of the things. Yes, I'm also do the things. So some recognitions and rewarding are very much needed for the. It's a part of your practices of innovative organizations. Then integrated social technical systems. Highly innovative companies appear to place the equal emphasis on the technical side as well as the social side of the organization. It means the nurture of both the technical abilities and expertise while promoting a sense of sharing and thoughtfulness. Togetherness. So sharing and the togetherness is required. The sense to create the sense of the then continuity of Slack. Slack is the questions for resources. So which allows an organization to accept to internal and external pressures and has high correlation with the innovation. So here are some of the characteristics. One is the integrated social technical systems, continuity of these lags. Now here are some of the diagrams. The characteristics of the innovative organizations, where you see the some creative organizations. What are the inputs are coming? So everything are you see the arrow are in the company as input. First things you have to see the um, separation of the creative from the productive functions. Then your stable, secure internal environments, open channels of the communications, encouragement of the outside contents, and idea units freed of other responsibilities, heterogeneous personal policies, investment in the basic research, decentralization and the diversification and the diversified risk-taking ethos, and you are not run as a tight or cheap. So all these things are see the all are as input for the creative work. Then only we can say is the creative organizations. So one of the typical views are given is your innovative creative organizations. Now see some of the cognitive factors and the innovation. So cognitive factors also appear to be associated with the ability to innovate. Research appears to indicate that a number of cognitive factors are associated with the creativity. So for example, the medical your philosophy indicates that medical psychology indicates that differences in cognitive processes and your thinking, rational thinkings for the right brain to intuition. So that's why some of the cognitive it can be the process can be do. Now coming to cognitive, some of the parameters are there. It is affecting idea productions, your associate fluency, then fluency of the expressions, then your figural fluency, and then additional frequency, speech frequency, fluency, then word fluency, practical. This is just showing some of the parameters, cognitive parameters. So accordingly, it can be, you can see is a, in order to see your organization's patterns, where you are, this type of cognitive parameters you can correlate and for the production purposes. So personal motivational factors affecting your innovations. At the individual level, numerous motivation related factors have been identified as the drivers of the creative productions. Some key ones are presented below, some of the intrinsic versus extrinsic motivations. Challenging individuals, skill and knowledge, these all are your key points. Now, fostering. Creativity involves the sudden moment of inspirations in which an idea suddenly flashes in the brain. So there are 4 stages on the creative process. Some things you can see the creativity are coming, it is some of the involvement stages are there. First things, preparations, you have to prepare some of the things. What are the things are going on in your brain or something. Some stages, then after that, incubations, means somebody has to give support is required, investment is required. So some platform is required where the gaps are there, somebody has to fill, or the knowledge gaps or support systems or availability. So everything are, that is another stage, your incubations. Then your insight, detailing, you have to see all these things. Then after that, finally your verifications. You have to verify the things are in the right directions or not. Now, then some of the various techniques are there. That is your golden techniques, your kinetic techniques, idea checklist, attribute listing, and then your checkerboard methods, reproductions. There are so many techniques are there for enhancing. Basically, all are for the enhancing the creativity. Because tools and techniques are also parallelly, you have to adopt it, all the organizations. So that's why it is there. The techniques are also at the same time. Because it involves the changing and the assumptions. So tools, if you use it, then definitely your it can be developed. You are in the right path. So suppose, for example, your checklist. So where it is development on the enhancement creativity, you can see, yes, this is parallelly going on, everything. So that's why your techniques, you have to adopt it for this innovation purpose. And various techniques are there, the venture teams, and your idea champions, entrepreneurships. Many people have a price for the flexibility, creativity, risks, things. Then creativity and diversity, people referring the gender, age, race, disabilities. So it is all are to be addressed to address the problem. Then the last slides, that is your company programs for the enhancing. That funds are usually special programs for to fostering the any employees creativity. When the exercise may sometimes appear leisure or even the humorous, so they encourage the employees to break out of their corporate cells and think in different ways. Sometimes it has happened. So you have to give some break times. Okay, you can take some leave for 7 days, and after that you can do it. So that is things are also part of your enhancing the creativity part. Management at the fluoride corporation face situation in which they needed to find a way to develop a new products that would enable the company to grow and gain the productivity. So you have to see, observe the things, when the break should be required, what time the rest is required, rejuvenate the things, recalculation, so everything are some of the things that things are. So it is a part of your program, should be a program where you can see that you can enhance the creativity of these things. So okay, I think now we have complete all the sessions. So in the next time we can review the things, complete advanced strategic management. We can review the things, all the blocks, and let's see the next sessions. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.